This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.
Hello. Hello, everyone. How is everybody doing? Me llamo Simón y bienvenidos a Reggae Boys Commentary. Este es el canal para nosotros hablar de amaquino, fútbol amaquino y muchas más. Y también es para hablar de el fútbol de femenino y el fútbol sub-20, sub-17, sub-15 y muchas más. El fútbol en la playa y muchas habitaciones también. Y también en francés. En français, nous parle de Jamaïque, le foot de Jamaïque et aussi le foot dans le monde. Et c'est très intéressant aujourd'hui parce qu'aujourd'hui, nous parlons parler de Leon Bailey et Michail Antonio. So what we're going to do right now is have a discussion about these two individuals in particular. IS Abs, how are you doing? I hope that you are doing well. So, the title of this video, which I'm sure has attracted a lot of people here. So, what I want you all to do is look at the table. Look at the table right now. Yeah? Tyrone Williams, big up. Who else is in the house? Leave your comments in the comments below. Are you doing well? I'm doing okay, you know. Tired, but I'm well. And I hope that you are doing okay as well. I want you all to look at that table. Look at that table. Look where West Ham United is. Look where Aston Villa are. Look where Bournemouth is. Look where Fulham are. Clubs which have Jamaican internationals are well, majority of them in the bottom half of the table. So that's where we are. Junior Deslandis, big up yourself, boss. Big up yourself. So look at that table and tell me what you see. Look at that table and tell me exactly what you see. What catches your eye with those standings? What stands out to you? Think about it for a moment. Just process it and tell me your thoughts about it. Because if you look at that 11 and that you could say bottom half of the table, you could say there's a reason for concern. Am I right? First off, let's look where Aston Villa are on the table, all right? Look where Aston Villa are in the table right now. Look at Aston Villa. Champions League. Aston Villa are 16th in the table on 9 points. They are 1 point. 1 point above the relegation zone. 1 point. Yeah? Let's look at another one. Okay? What about West Ham United? 12th in the table, 11 points. 3 points adrift. 2 points clear of the relegation zone. Bournemouth, 10th in the table. 10 games played, 13 points. 5 points clear of the relegation zone. Well, there you go. The bottom 3 clubs in the league are Southampton, Leicester City, and Nottingham Forest. These clubs are in, well, put it this way, they have a lot of work to do. Nottingham Forest only won 1 game all season. Leicester City, they've only won 1 game all season. And Southampton, they've won only 2 games this season. Curcio, what do you mean by Champions League? What do you mean by that specifically? What do you mean by that? I don't understand what you mean by that. But when you look at the table, that tells you everything that you need, right? You see everything there, don't you? Now, West Ham United, as we spoke earlier, are slender and just have a few points adrift, a few points above the relegation zone. They took on Southampton today, where Declan Rice got on the score sheet for them. And that match ended 1-1. And if you look at, the build-up, the match build-up to the game, everybody was saying, unleash Michail Antonio. Unleash Michail Antonio. They play against Liverpool on Wednesday. Big game, right? Big, massive game. Antonio did come on. He did feature in this encounter. He did. But he came on in the 87th minute of the game. So he didn't get a lot of time to make the impact that he wants. Of course, David Moyes has to look ahead. And there's a big game against Liverpool ahead. So that has to be treated as a priority. Isab says, was Omar Holness still holding on for England? Yes. Who might be relegated you're talking about? You're talking about Aston Villa or West Ham? Because I don't think either will get relegated. I just think that it is a cause for concern to say that they're only a few points above the relegation zone at this point in time. That is where I stand right now with their scenario. you know. So that's where we are. Now, what about Aston Villa? Aston Villa took on Chelsea and they lost 2-0. Aston Villa are 16th in the table. So they have a lot of work to do. And as we've talked about time and time again, it's going to take time for Leon Bailey to settle in his and to adjust to the Premier League. I don't think last season was a fair shout because of the injuries, change of coach. Change of coach is going to have a different style, different mindset on different things. So for every new manager, you're going to have winners and losers. You're going to have players that are going to continue thriving, and then you're going to have other players that are like, it's going to take some time to adjust. And that's the situation with Leon Bailey. It is going to take time to adjust, and it's going to require patience. It's going to require that sense of being able to understand that this is, the Premier League, and there's no way you can let up. You can't let down your guard in this league. So that is where we are with those two individuals. Jamal Lowe, Bobby Reed. Yeah. Their opportunities will come. Bobby Reed, he'll score some goals. Jamal Lowe will also do the same as well. What does the top of the table look like? Well, Arsenal are at the top, 27 points, 9 wins, and 1 loss. That's just phenomenal, isn't it? Man City second, 23 points. Spurs are third, 23. Chelsea fourth with 19 points with a game in hand. United with a game in hand, they're on 16 points. They could move to 19 if they defeat Tottenham Hotspur. Newcastle, they're sixth on 15 points. Brighton, seventh on 14 points. Liverpool are eighth on 13 points. They should be 18th in the league. But anyways, Brentford, they're ninth in the table on 13 points. And like I said, Bournemouth. Yeah. So Ethan Pinnock and company, they're in the top 10, looking pretty decent with their 13 points to their name. So United against Tottenham on the 19th of October. So that's something for us to pay special attention to. So we'll keep close tabs on that, We're looking forward to it. So, yeah. So that's where we are. Manchester United, they play on Wednesday against Tottenham Hotspur. Then 3 days later, they play Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And then the 27th, they play against Sheriff in the UEFA Europa League. Yep. And then to end the month, they face West Ham United. Yeah. So there we have it. So let's see what you guys have to say in the comments here. Bailey did a job. He played okay, missed a couple of chances. Yeah, I would agree that he played okay. I think it's only a matter of time before you see things start to click. Villa, okay. Roger Grant says, Estoy aquí. What did you miss? Basically, Leon Bailey's Aston Villa and Michail Antonio's West Ham United. They're just a few points above the relegation zone, so it's a slender cushion that they have. So I'm raising the question, is there any reason to be concerned? And I'm dispelling those concerns because these are teams that we haven't even played 1/3 of the season just yet. So there's no reason to panic, no reason to be overly concerned. The key now is that in this part of the season where you have 1/4 of the fixtures done and dusted, that this is where you start to kick on proceedings. This is where you start to raise your standards. This is where you move to the next level of things. And that is the demands that I would place on clubs such as Aston Villa with Leon Bailey, West Ham United with Michail Antonio, Jamal Lowe at Bournemouth, Bobby Reid and Fulham, Ethan Pinnock and Brentford. What do you mean? Bobby played real well. Dexter Daps. Dexter Daps. Dexter Daps. Bobby Reid is only consistent reggae boy right now. In the Premier League? Right now. You see Fulham playing Dexter Daps at right back. Okay, cool. Has Jamalo been coming on for Bournemouth? He gets 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 there. All right, guys, we're going to take nature calls. So we're going to take a short commercial break and come back with lots more.
This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876 309 6128. That's 876 309 6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing.
So have you guys got the coconut waters yet? Well, I certainly hope that you did because it's good. So why not? Why haven't you gotten that coconut water? You certainly should get it. So so there we go. What are your thoughts there? Yeah, I feel like with Jamal Lowe, you have a lot of mixed views about him, but just give him some playing time and you'll see exactly what he has to offer. Didn't Bailey look good today? I think he was decent. David Coke says, why Manu can't score? My friend. It's going to take time. But it's going to be interesting to see how United looks on Wednesday against Tottenham Hotspur. The likes of Malacia and company and how they settle into proceedings. How they look, Bless up, documentary says, bless up, Simon, bless up. Hope you're good. Hope you guys are really, really, really good. Yeah. Hope you guys are really good. I like the form of Johnson, Clark Harris, and Giovanni Brown. They're leading the scoring chart in League One. Look, League One is hotting up right now, you know. It's just a league that is filled with so much class and panache and excitement right now. Honestly, League One is like what Championship was a decade ago. Bear in mind, you also have Forest Green Rovers with Jimmy and Matt. You have Peterborough with Johnson Clark Harris, Sheffield Wednesday with Darren Moore. My days, man. It's just a quality unit. You have Giovanni Brown, 8 goals. Johnson Clark Harris with 10. Giovanni Brown even scored a hat trick this season. You know what I mean? So it's just like, wow. League One is just. The standard of League One has tremendously improved. And I'm hopeful with Adrian Mariappa in League One right now that we'll be able to see progress. Yeah. Bailey was unfortunate today. Should have had a goal and 2 assists in the first half. I feel like that's true. That certainly can happen. So, yeah, for sure. I'd have to agree with you there. Is Daniel Jefferson at Sheffield United of Jamaican descent? Yes, he has Jamaican descent, but his focus at this point in time is not on international football. So it's not something that you can just, I would just say, don't rest your hearts and expectations on that individual at this point in time. I would say just not forget about it, but just don't rest your hopes on that individual in particular. All being well, guys, I should be talking to Cuba Mitchell tomorrow. So if you guys have any questions for him, I kindly ask you to put the question in the comments below. Questions that you have for Cuba Mitchell at Sunderland. Yeah, the Northeast is quite a journey, you know. You're literally going on the border with Scotland. But you know, like I said, that's the beauty about England. That's the beauty about England. You can go on a train and in a couple of hours, you're in another city. You can watch Darren Moore with a train. You can watch Jamalo with a train down south to the border. The English South Coast, you know? So there are no excuses. There's no excuses, honestly. So that is definitely for us to process, you know? But yeah, guys, you can let me know your thoughts. You can let me know, basically, if you have questions for Cuba. What are the questions for Cuba? And then we take it from there, shall we? How does that sound? Let's work with that and see how far that goes, eh? So. Thoughts on the Reggae Warriors? So I know a lot of people are going to be bogged down by the scoreline of the game, However, that is very myopic, extremely myopic to do that. And in the terms of the performance of the team, there wasn't a single moment where the team gave up or gave in. The team showed their class and remained competitive in this encounter. And we're not making excuses. We're just saying that Ireland has 14, 16 full time players. Jamaica only has two full time players, three if you're going to count Kieran Rush, who scored Jamaica's first ever points at a Rugby League World Cup today. So, my point in all of this is this. This is Jamaica's debut on the world stage. It's building, it's growing, it's about getting that exposure and stamping the authority that Jamaica has a rugby league team and Jamaica is not here to make up the numbers and build towards qualification for France 2025. So, from that perspective, I would have to say that based on the performance today, although the result was not the result that Jamaica wanted, the performance gave a number of encouraging signs, and there were some great positives to take from an encounter today. So, when you look at the talent like Ashton Golan in his mid 20s, Michael Lawrence in his early 30s, Kieran Rush, late teens, early 20s, thereabouts, and then you have youngsters such as AJ Wallace, you have youngsters such as Jacob Ogden, you have youngsters such as Jaden Days coming through the wings. You have individuals like domestic players such as Marvin Thompson and Kamisi McCain and Siobhan Walsh and Ronaldo Wade and Abivia McDonald. You know what I'm saying? And Andrew Simpson. We're looking at genuinely disciplined, talented, hard-working players. Jada says, I'm a bit late. What did you miss? Well, my friend, the point is that Michail and West Ham United and Leon Bailey and Aston Villa, their clubs right now are just a shade above the relegation zone. And I posed the question, should we be concerned based on where they are right now in the table? And the simple answer to that question is no. The season has not been played for more than 10 games. So you could say a quarter of the season perhaps is finished right now because it's a 38 game season and a 10 over 38 gives you a little bit more than 25% completed. So that gives us everything that you need to know from that perspective. And what we know for sure is that with another 28 games to go, that clubs with the caliber of a West Ham United, with the caliber of Aston Villa, will improve on their performances and form, and that will naturally lead to better results. I know West Ham United has European commitments on their hands in the UEFA Europa Conference League, but I don't think that that will influence negatively with what they have going in the Premier League. I know there's been evidence to suggest that the Thursday Sunday routine in terms of the Europa League has an impact on the Sunday games in the league. But for the Europa Conference League, I think that there's an opportunity for rotation for the side of West Ham United side of things. And yes, Mikel Antoni, he only played a few minutes today, but you have to look at the bigger picture as they will play against Liverpool coming up on Wednesday. So for me, it's not something to be concerned about, nothing to be alarmed about. What I would say about this matter is that we just keep a very, very close eye to ensure that in this particular situation, that they pick up the right results quite soon. And if those right results come, then everything will fall into place from there. Reggae Warriors defended well, just lacks strategy going forward. So the attacking perspective of things, Ira Vibes, is something that will continue to improve. The team has been in camp now for about 2 weeks, and that is something that will continue to be honed and grow. What's the deal with Peter Lee Vassell? Peter Lee Vassell, my friend. The Leipzig deal is off the table. Yeah, Leipzig was in the picture, but based on what happened with the scouts at the club and when Peter Lee Vassell's phone was stolen and there was an impersonator asking the scout for for money and for them to wire money towards him. The scout basically wrote off Peter Lee Vassell, and the opportunity to go to Germany was just off, even though eventually the scout knew that with Peter Lee Vassell that it wasn't really him. He just said it was a situation that turned him off, So what I would say, guys, is be careful of your friends. Be careful of who you associate with. And think about deeply, who are these people that you associate with? Are they your friends or are they your acquaintances? Think about this. The persons that are in your life, are they only around you when they need something from you? Or when you are experiencing difficulties, can you rely on them? Because I can honestly say that outside of my mother, there's probably 2 or 3 other people that I can say that for. And one of those persons I met this summer. You know what I'm saying? So you really need to know the people around you. And for Peter Lee Vassell, it was a learning experience, a learning experience. And I'm hopeful that this experience, while a learning one, can be put aside and he can focus on his football and succeed. It was severely unfortunate, I can't believe it. To this day, I can't believe it. Eye-opening, shocking, but Peter Lee Vassell, the talent is there. But the question is, will he be able to fulfill that potential? That is the next question. Reggae Boys fans, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back later today with another video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content.
This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.